Hello everyone. How do you like this cute little romping puppy? Isn't he adorable? You know what? I painted him in gouache paints. Would you like to see how I painted him? Come on then, let's begin. And do stay with me till the end to see the end result. Since I'm going to paint in gouache colors, I'm using a normal cartridge paper here and a standard HB pencil. With the pencil, I'm going to make an outline of the puppy that I'm going to draw and go further. The initial outline will only be a rough outline. Not many details will be incorporated in this at this stage. Now that the outline is done, I am beginning to paint. As you can see in the outline, I haven't incorporated too many details. It's just a basic rough outline. The paints that I'm using are gouache paints, and the brush that I'm using is a synthetic flat brush. Now gouache paints are opaque paints. They are not transparent as how watercolors are. So they behave a little differently from how watercolors behave, in the sense that watercolor shows transparency, whereas gouache colors do not show transparency. They are opaque. They are supposed to be used thick. Having said that, there are different methods of painting in gouache used by different artists. Some artists may paint in thick colors right from the beginning to the end, whereas some use slightly translucent colors of gouache itself in the initial stage for giving basic washes, and then move on to working in the thick layers. And that is exactly what I am doing here. I am laying down the basic washes here, which are a little transparent in the sense that I have used some amount of water mixed with the gouache colors so as to make it a little thin instead of the thick gouache colors. And I will be doing this sort of a transparent wash throughout the painting, and then I will move on to working into the thicker paints of gouache. Initially, when we are doing these transparent layers or the basic layers, it may look like a watercolor effect is seen, but as and how we go along, at the end we'll be using the thicker paints, and then the real essence of gouache will be seen. For this base coat, we will be using more amount of water and less amount of the pigment, that is the actual paint. That's how the transparency will be seen, and we will be covering the entire area in this manner. So then let's finish with this initial transparent layer throughout the painting first. now that the base coat is done, I am moving on to the next layer. I'm doing the eyes now, and so I'm using a finer brush. And now I have started to use more pigment too and less amount of water. With this fine brush I will work on the eyes and the nose. And now slowly I will start working on the fur of the puppy. With that same fine brush I will lay down the hairs of the fur of the puppy. This will be done in quick strokes of the brush. This is very important. Stroke work is going to be very important while doing the fur. Also I am using the thicker pigment only now. I am no longer using the transparent one, and in this way I will continue to do the fur of the puppy. I will start work on the grass now, and we'll come back to the fur a little later to add more details. For the grass, I am back to my slanting brush, and with quick oblique strokes I will be working on the grass. Now that the grass is done, I will start work on the background. Using the same brush, I will just add a few darker colors around the puppy behind, so that the figure of the puppy starts popping out. I'm adding a few colorful patches in the background so as to add some interest to the painting and so that the painting doesn't look too monotonous. Now I'm coming back to the fur, and with the fine brush I'm adding a few more details here and there, some dark patches, a few more strokes of the brush to indicate the hair of the fur of the puppy, and bring out a slightly more three-dimensional effect too. This can be done by adding few shades of the colors in terms of light and dark, so that the three-dimensional effect is seen a little more prominently. For the highlights in the eyes, I am using the white pigment here, and also for the highlights in the white portion of the fur. We can easily use the gouache white color here to show the highlights, which is what we avoid normally in the watercolor paintings. In watercolor paintings, normally we try to leave the paper white wherever we need the white. Only at times and very rarely is the white pigment used in watercolors, but in gouache we have full liberty of using this white to show the highlights. I'm just adding a few finishing touches here and there so that the figure stands out a little more. A sort of a shadow underneath the puppy will show that the puppy is romping about. So that's it, our painting is done. How do you like it? Do let me know. Thanks for being here. Subscribe, like, share, and press the bell icon for notifications, and do leave your valuable comments. Click on the end screens above for more videos and enjoy them. Thank you.